Good morning, Selma, Alabama. Good morning, Dallas County, Perry County, Lowndes County, and all of our friends across the globe. Welcome to the Selma, Alabama chapter of the Links Incorporated's presentation on Hands-Only CPR. My name is Evelyn Evans, and I am the president of the Selma, Alabama chapter of the Links Incorporated. Need to know a little bit more about the Links Incorporated? Well, we are an international nonprofit corporation established in 1946. We are also one of the nation's oldest and largest volunteer organizations. The cornerstone of what we do? Service. Through our 5 programming facets, we bring service to our communities. Today, you will hear from our Health and Human Services facet. Specifically, this month, HeartLinks is our area of discussion. Every heartbeat is life. And today you will hear from our HeartLinks captain, Mrs. Phoenicia Nunn, who will tell you more about today's activity. So get ready to learn, get ready to be empowered, because every heartbeat truly is life. Thank you for joining us.
Greetings. Thank you for joining us this 20th day in Greetings. Thank you for joining us this 20th day in February as we continue to raise awareness of heart disease and empower women to take charge of our own health. Heart disease remains the leading cause of death in the United States for both men and women. In 2018, 1 in 5 Americans died of heart disease. That's women. Deaths for heart disease are more prevalent among African Americans, Native Americans, and Hispanic women than white women. The Selma, Alabama chapter of the Links Incorporated serves Dallas County and the surrounding areas in Alabama. Unfortunately, Dallas County has a 52% rate of heart disease and a 64% rate of cerebral vascular disease, also known as stroke. The rates are tied to the fact that obesity is the leading risk factor for these diseases, followed by hypertension. Alabama is number 3 in obesity in the nation, and Dallas County has a 63% obesity rate. The statistics can be overwhelming, but it is encouraging that there are a lot of ways to prevent heart disease and stroke. High blood pressure, high blood cholesterol, obesity, smoking, not being physically active, and diabetes are all factors that increase a person's risk of heart disease and stroke. But you can make improvements. The Selma, Alabama chapter of the Links Incorporated is committed to transforming our community through sustainable programs. The Heart Links program is designed to empower individuals to engage in activities that will increase their knowledge of cardiovascular disease, risk factors of this disease, and encourage them to participate in healthy behaviors. Critical to this mission is to help the community develop healthier eating and physical habits and know your numbers that increase your risk factors for heart disease. Examples: high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high glucose, and high waist circumference. The chapter Heart Links program is called Every Heartbeat is Life. Our goal is to offer accessible, relevant, and timely content that incorporates preventive health, blood pressure management, healthy weight loss, diabetes prevention, and exercise tips that fit realistically with the participants' lives that will decrease the risk of heart disease. During year 1, we divide the program into 3 phases: community enrichment education, community engagement, and community empowerment. So Let's take a look back at year one. Because of COVID-19, year two of our Heart Links program, Every Heartbeat is Life, has had to take on a virtual look. I hope you have been following us on Facebook as we post each week vital information and videos to empower you to take control of your health. Today, we go from individual empowerment to collective responsibility. Dr. Patricia Robinson, the Selma Chapter's Health and Human Services Chair, featuring Dr. Jacqueline Mutry, will teach each of you to do something that is most empowering thing that you can do. Save a life just with your hands.
Thank you, Mrs. Nunn. I am Dr. Robinson. I'm a board-certified pediatrician, and I have been practicing in Selma for the last 30 years. I am the current chair of the pediatric department at the Vaughn Hospital. I am certified in pediatric and neonatal advanced life support. It has been my pleasure to serve as the chapter's Health and Human Services Chair. As our Heart Links captain, Mrs. Nunn, said, we had to make Every Heartbeat is Life program virtual this year. Although our method changed, our commitment to the community is still the same. We do hope that you have been following us on Facebook and really applying the information and videos we have shared. When you view our flyer on Facebook, you will see that we divided the program into 4 parts, each week highlighting heart-related topics. The first week emphasized knowing your risk of heart disease and knowing what a heart attack is and how to look at the symptoms and signs. The second week emphasized exercise, which is vitally important to your mental and physical well-being. The third week was based on you knowing your numbers related to blood pressure, glucose, waist circumference, body mass index, and cholesterol. Having your caregiver check these numbers and discuss with you their significance for you will help you in assessing your risk of dying from heart disease. Knowing your numbers and taking action will empower you to write your own story and decrease the chance of you becoming a statistic. Part of our program is empowering people to learn CPR. Last year, we were able to have 34 members of the community certified in conventional CPR. Today, we are going to demonstrate hands-only CPR, which is CPR with compressions only, meaning no mouth-to-mouth contact. The messaging of the hands-only CPR comes from the American Heart Association. The American Heart Association works with leading CPR scientists and medical professionals. Their continuous review of published research showed that the hands-only CPR can be just as effective as conventional CPR in a teen or an adult who suddenly collapses and is not breathing or not breathing normally if done within the first few minutes of a cardiac arrest. It is simple, easy to remember, and studies have shown that individuals are more inclined to start hands-only CPR because there is no mouth-to-mouth contact. When you see this today, you will see that it only takes minutes to learn. I have Dr. Jacqueline Moutry with me today to teach the demonstration of hands-only CPR. So nice to have you, Dr. Moutry.
Thank you, Dr. Robinson.
Dr. Moutry is a nursing instructor at Wallace Community College, Selma. She earned a Bachelor of Nursing and Master of Science degree in nursing from Troy University and a Doctor of Nursing practice from Stanford University. Her vast years of nursing experience includes nursing education, Director of Cardiology Services, Core Measure Coordinator, Coordinator of the Non-Invasive Cardiology and Cardiac Catheterization. She is certified in acute life support, and she is a certified acute life support instructor through the American Heart Association. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Moutry.
Thank you, Dr. Robinson, for having me. I would like to take this opportunity to demonstrate to you hands-only CPR. Hands-only CPR is extremely important in
Before we get started, Dr. Moutry, we would like for the audience to come along with us, and we would like for them to take out their cell phones. We would like for them to go to a slide will be coming up shortly. We would like for them to participate in a poll. We would like for you to go to www.kahoot.it. That's www.kahoot.it, and put in the pen 919-8896. Again, go to www.kahoot.it and put in the pen. And after you put in your pen, put your name. We want you to participate with us today. Okay. We'll be going to our first question. Our first question I hope that everyone has had a chance to sign into the poll. Again, let's give you the instructions again. You sign into the poll at www.kahoot.it. Please sign in. And after you sign in, you put your PIN number, which is 919-8896. And after you put the PIN number, please put your name. And that will be a great help. They'll give you an opportunity to interact with us today. It's so important to be able to try to have this interplay so you'll feel more involved with us today. We're waiting for a few more people to sign in. While people are signing in, Dr. Mutri, do you have any general comments you would like to make about CPR?
I just think that it's very important that everyone learns CPR, especially hands-only CPR, because it does not require any mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Hands-only CPR can save a life. If we all would take the opportunity to learn hands-on CPR, it would be very, very beneficial to your family members and to your loved ones, that everyone in your household learn how to save a life by using hands-only CPR.
It's very easy to find
Yes.
mannequins. You can order one from the American Heart Association.
Yes.
Very easy to be able to practice at home. All right, so we'll have our first question. The first question. How many, round one, the first question. How many cardiac arrests happen outside of the hospital each year? Is it A, 50,000, B, 200,000, C, 350,000, or D, 20,000? Again, how many cardiac arrests happen outside of the hospital each year? Is it A, 50,000, B, 200,000, C, 350,000, or D, 20,000? I'll give you a few seconds to ponder that. Of course, Dr. Mutri and I would see a lot of cardiac arrests in the hospital,
Oh, yes.
especially in our training and with you working in the cardiac lab.
Yes. Have seen quite a few.
Mhm. We'll give you a few more seconds. Again, how many cardiac arrests happen outside of the hospital setting? Outside of the hospital setting each year. Is it A, 50,000, B, 200,000, C, 350,000, or D, 20,000? Have a few more seconds. We see that 50% said 350,000 and 50% said 200,000. Well, the answer is C, 350,000. 350,000 cardiac arrests happen outside of the hospital setting, and that's about 3,000 people a day. Now, let's take a closer look at where those arrests are happening. Next question. What percentage of cardiac arrests happen at home? Very thought-provoking question. What percentage of cardiac arrests happen at home? I'm going to give you some time to answer that. What percentage of cardiac arrests happen at home? Is it A, 25%? Is it B, 30%? Is it C, 55%? Is it D, 70%? What percentage of cardiac arrests happen at home? We'll give you a few more seconds. A, 25%. B, 30%. C, 55%. D, 70%. 63% said 55%. 38% said 70%. Well, the answer is D, 70%. Now that's significant. Think about it now. 70% of cardiac arrests happen at home. 70%. Wow. Of that 70% that happen at home, only 12% survive. Only 12% survive. 12% survive without CPR. That's a frightening thought. Now, if you can start CPR, studies have shown 46% can have survival. Why is this important? If 70% of cardiac arrests happen at home, that means that you are probably going to be faced with trying to save the life of someone you love, a relative, a friend, a parent. 70% of cardiac arrests outside of the hospital happen at home, and only 12% survive. Why is that? That's because people don't know CPR. According to the American Heart Association, hands-only CPR, especially performed immediately after someone suddenly collapses, can double or triple their chance of survival. So it is very important. It is a vital first step. Now, some of us go our whole lives without ever encountering an emergency situation. So we don't think about it. And that's okay, because that's why we're here today. We're here today to show you how you can save a life of someone you love, a life of someone you're close to, with your own two hands. So, Dr. Mutri.
Yes.
Let's get started.
Let's get started in learning hands-only CPR. Hands-only CPR is very important to learn. If you see a teen or an adult who has suddenly collapsed, or you come across someone who is unresponsive, the first thing you will do is say, hey, are you okay? If they do not respond to you, then you're going to activate your emergency medical system. If you're by yourself, you're going to dial 911, and you're going to stay on the line with the EMS system so that they can hear you and they can direct you. The next thing you're going to do is interlock your hands and lock your elbows. Make sure that you're standing in a position so that your shoulders are over your hands. And you're going to press hard and fast in the center of the chest. You're going to compress 2 inches, and you're going to do your compressions at 100 to 120 beats per minute. So let's get started. And while you're doing this, you can sing in your mind of the Bee Gees song, Saving a Life. is going to do CPR until help arrives.
And you can use the song Staying Alive because it has the beat where you can do 100 to 120 compressions per minute. Now, sometimes you may be too young to remember Staying Alive. You may know Beyonce's Crazy in Love. Well, you can use that song. Or if you're a country music fan, you may know Johnny Cash's Walk the Line. Or if you are a Latin American fan, you may know Shakira's Hips Don't Lie. You can use anything that you can to help you keep those compressions coming. And if you're not a music lover, just remember, go fast in 2 inches deep. You would do 100 to 120 compressions per minute. That's about 2 compressions per second. And you continue to do compressions until help arrives. The emergency medical team or there's someone else that can help you. But try not to stop. It is vitally important not to stop. Okay, thank you, Dr. Mitchell.
You are welcome.
So, but I heard during the compressions, let's just go over the steps again.
Okay. What you would do, you would walk up to, if you find a teen or an adult who has collapsed in front of you, you would walk up to them and you would say, hey, are you okay? And then what you would do is activate, if they do not respond to you, you're going to activate 911 on your cell phone. Leave the line open. You're going to intertwine your hands, lock your elbows, and you're going to place your hand on the breastbone, which is in the center of the chest, and you're going to compress 2 inches at a rate of 100 to 120 beats per minute. And you're going to continue to do this until help arrives.
And Dr. Mitchell, suppose the person, when we already know that most of this happens at home outside of the hospital. So suppose the person is in the bed.
Then you need to move them to the floor so that they are on a hard surface and you can do your CPR on the floor. On the soft surface, the compressions are not as effective, but they need to be on the floor so that there's a hard surface underneath them, and then you can continue your compressions at that time.
Okay. So it's very important to do high quality compressions. And I know this is not the same as you are used to. You're used to perhaps the conventional CPR, which includes a cycle of compressions and mouth-to-mouth contact. Well, with hands-only CPR, there is no mouth-to-mouth contact, just high-quality compressions. Now, why don't you need any breaths? Well, the studies show that when a teen or an adult suddenly collapses, he or she usually have enough oxygen to keep the vital organs healthy for the first few minutes. Providing chest compressions that are hard and fast enough, about 100 to 120 compressions per minute, will mimic the heart pumping blood to the brain. Studies show that hands-only CPR is just as effective as conventional CPR when given in the first few minutes of a cardiac arrest. Breaths are not as important as chest compressions. because the oxygen level in the body remains adequate for the first few minutes after a cardiac arrest. However, if you do no CPR, brain cells start to die within 3 to 4 minutes after a cardiac arrest, and after 10 minutes, there is a higher chance of irreversible brain damage and death. So doing nothing is not an option. Any CPR is better than none. Now, if you want to practice at home, you can buy a CPR Anytime kit. This CPR Anytime kit has been developed by the American Heart Association, and it's designed to teach life-saving CPR skills in the comfort and privacy of your own home. It is easy, it's self-directed, and it demonstrates hands-on CPR and other life-saving techniques, such as child CPR, choking relief, and AED awareness. AED stands for Automated External Defibrillator, which will shock the heart back in rhythm. This is what the mannequin looks like blown up. And in the mannequin, there's a little clicker that will tell you if you're doing compressions deep enough. I recommend this for you to purchase. It's only about $40 online from the American Heart Association. It is portable. It can be taken anywhere. And you can have sessions where churches learn how to do hands-on CPR. Families, when you have your family reunions, you can learn how to do hands-on CPR. You can have viewing parties. It has a nice DVD in it and everything that you need to learn hands-on CPR. Now, some people may not want to buy one of these. Well, you can make your own mannequin, and I'm going to show you how to do it in just a second. All you need is a t-shirt, filler, a 2-liter bottle, and 3 rubber bands. Now, the 2-liter bottle, you must empty it completely. Make sure it's empty, and then you put the top on very tightly. You take your t-shirt, any t-shirt that you want, take the bottle and put it in the middle so it can mimic the breastbone. You take the rubber bands and tie it on the arms. And at the bottom of the t-shirt. And then you take your filler. You can use plastic bags or you can use paper. Make sure you continue to have the bottle lined up to mimic the breastbone. The bottle's lined up. Now you have your little makeshift mannequin. And then you can start your CPR. Now I'm kind of short, so pretend I'm a little bit taller, and then you can stay in the line, stay in the line, up, stay in the line, stay in the line. It's not as easy as it looks, but it's vitally important that you learn CPR. Practicing makes a world of difference. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm a big sports fan. And people, the great athletes like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, bless his soul, and Steph Curry. All of them will tell you that practice makes a difference. So if you practice doing CPR, if it ever comes a time when you need it, you will automatically jump and do what is necessary to save your loved one's life. Now, again, I recommend that you buy the Anytime CPR, or you can make your own, but $40 is not too much to invest in your family. We're going to have a few more poll questions. So we would like for you to go back to the poll, and we're going to ask just a few more questions. When performing CPR, what is the rate of compressions you should do per minute? Is it A, 60 to 70? Is it B, 80 to 100? Is it C, 100 to 120? Or is it D, 130 to 150? Again, when performing CPR, what is the rate of compressions you should do per minute? Is it A, 60 to 70? Is it B, 80 to 100? Is it C, 100 to 120? Or is it D, 130 to 150? Okay, 88%. The answer is, of course, the answer is C, 100 to 120. Now we have the next question. If you are called on to give CPR in an emergency, you will most likely be trying to save the life of someone you love, a spouse, parent, friend, or relative. Is that A, true, or B, false? If you're called to give CPR in an emergency, and remember, 70% of them happen at home, you will most likely be trying to save the life of someone you love, a spouse, parent, or friend. Is it A, true? Is it B, false? We have a few more seconds. And of course, the answer is true. 100%. So we all know that now.
Yes.
So, Dr. Mutri, let's just go over the CPR one more time.
Okay.
Not my dummy.
So hands-only CPR is that you're going to first come upon the person who is unconscious and you're going to shake and you're going to say, hey, are you okay? If there's no response, then you're going to activate the EMS system by using your cell phone. You're going to leave your line open so that you can communicate with the emergency medical personnel. You're then going to interlock your hands. And you're going to place your hands on the breastbone, in the center of the breastbone in the chest. And you're going to make sure that your shoulders are over your hands or over the patient's chest. And you're going to compress 2 inches at a rate of 100 to 120 beats per minute.
And remember, you can do the song Staying Alive. You can do Beyonce's song, Crazy in Love, Johnny Cash's Walk the Line, Shakira's Hips Don't Lie, or just remember, hard and fast, 2 inches, compressions at least 2 per second, and that will give you 120 compressions per minute. You must continue to do the CPR until help arrives. If you do this, you will give your loved one, your friend, the best chance of survival. Thank you, Dr. Mildred.
You are welcome.
And remember, any CPR is better than no CPR. So we're getting ready to ask you one more poll question. And I want you to really think about this one. It's going to be a poll question, and really think about it. While the poll question is coming up, the question is, do you believe now that you have the knowledge to save a life with hands-only CPR? A, yes. B, no. We'll give you a few seconds to answer. And remember, hands-only CPR has been designated for adults and teens that suddenly collapse. It is not recommended for children and infants. These children and infants should be given conventional CPR, and also victims of drowning. Conventional CPR includes the cycle of compressions and 2 breaths. Again, hands-only CPR is for adults and teens that suddenly collapse. We have a few more seconds. Great. 100% of you said that you feel now that you can save a life with hands-only CPR. So we have completed our mission today.
Yes, we have.
Now, of course, if you're trained in conventional CPR and you're really, really, really comfortable with it, we're not telling you that you can't use it. We're just letting you know that if you're not comfortable with conventional CPR, you're not trained in it, if you're afraid of doing mouth-to-mouth, please do hands-only CPR. Any CPR is better than no CPR. And if you would like to have more information about hands-only CPR, you can go to the American Heart Association, hands-only CPR. You can go to international.heart.org, hands-only CPR. And as you can see, the hands-only CPR only takes minutes to learn. It's only 2 steps. Call 911, push hard and fast. Call 911, push hard and fast, and you can save someone's life. We would like for you to continue to follow our program. We are continuing our 4-week program. If you have missed any of weeks 1, 2 through 3, please go back and look at our information and videos. You will really enjoy the information and videos. We have exciting videos about learning the signs of a heart attack from Dr. Frida Fisher. What is hypertension? What's cholesterol? What is good cholesterol? What is bad cholesterol? We gave wonderful tips on exercise. And this week, which starts week 4, we're going to talk about healthy eating. And on February the 25th, we will be doing a posting, which will be a survey questionnaire on the 25th. If you answer the survey, you will be put in a drawing for $300, our own stimulus, $300, just by answering questions. And you will have until February the 28th to answer the questions. They're easy, it's a survey, and some of the questions, all you have to do is just read some of the materials that we've done. I promise you, it's not hard. Just please answer the survey. We will announce the winner on Facebook on March the 2nd. Again, we will post the questionnaire survey on the 25th, and you have until the 28th to answer it, and then we will post the winner on March the 2nd. Please continue to follow us on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you again for joining us. Special thanks to our producer, Mrs. Danielle Wooten, for her technical and editorial expertise. Mrs. Wooten is a member of the Southern Area of the Links Incorporated Technology Committee, and we could not have done this without her. Thank you, Dr. Mutri, for taking time out of your schedule to help our community learn how to save a life. And thank you to Dr. Colin, who was our director today. Thank you, and be safe. We will leave you with one last video, just as a reminder. Every heartbeat is life, and CPR saves lives. Thank you.
Tell me, young man, do you remember what your dad and I taught you about hands-only CPR?
Yes. Kind of.
If you see a teen or adult suddenly collapse, the first thing you do is...
Call 911.
And the second thing you do is...
Push hard and fast in the center of the chest at a rate of at least 100 beats per minute.
Who even knows what 100 beats per minute sounds like?
Well, you can tell by the way I use my vocal performance there. No time to talk. Music's not whenever we kick the drums inside the phone. Now it's alright, it's okay. You may not think other way. We can try, understand. Do your steps and take them.
Remember, it's only 2 steps. Call 911.
And push hard and fast in the center of the chest to the beat of Staying Alive until help arrives.
Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive.